Dolph Ziggler, boy, he's came a long way, hasn't he? Ever since the Nikki character in the Spirit Squad, can you imagine what he had to go through to be that character, to end up evolving into what he is now? I mean, that is a long way to be a cheerleader, 7, 8 years ago, and then being the world champion, of today. I mean, of right now. I don't even understand why he had to win Money in the Bank anyway. I don't see why he hasn't became a legitimate champion without the Money in the Bank. This is just another example of WWE not pushing the young talent and the right talent for the job. And Dolph Ziggler is a perfect solution for the problem on SmackDown, for not having a legitimate champion. The last legitimate champion they had was Daniel Bryan and Sheamus. I mean, for the last 2 or 3 years. I mean, you can throw Big Show in there if you want to or not, but I mean, Dolph Ziggler has a real chance here to take the WWE by storm, which he already has, really. I mean, I started paying more attention to him maybe 2 years ago, because I think that he's one, other than Daniel Bryan, and I'll throw CM Punk in there, and some of the younger talent, even Cody Rhodes and Alberto Del Rio. I mean, these guys are really, really good wrestlers, and Dolph is amongst the best of all of them. He really works on his skills. He's got the look. He's got the following now. He's the show off. He's the reason people come to the event in his eyes, and I believe it too. I mean, if you want to know, my honest opinion, I think he's in the early stages of becoming the next Shawn Michaels. Or, I mean, the next Shawn Michaels is a far-fetched thing to say, but he's the closest thing, other than Daniel Bryan, we have to the next Shawn Michaels. But I don't think Dolph wants to be the next Shawn Michaels. I think he wants to be Dolph Ziggler. Shawn Michaels is the greatest ever. And Dolph Ziggler, his ego will not let him rest until he has that, and he still has another 10 or 15 years left in him. So we'll see what happens. But I believe that's the closest thing that we have to some of the greatest, showmanship, main event status, selling the matches, making people believe that it's real again, like he really makes it look real. And doing a standing vertical drop kick, jumping 6-7 feet off the ground, that's insane. The man works his butt off. He really puts in the work. You can tell it. And I think, honestly, with him having this title, that AJ's going to turn on him, and Big E Langston's going to turn on him, because that title brings so much controversy and so much, egos, and people are going to start clashing and trying to go for the title, because that's what they're all in it for. They're not going to be his little, dancing girl around the ring and his big bodyguard, because he doesn't need either one of them. I mean, he's Dolph Ziggler, for God's sakes. He can do anything he wants. He's the show-off. The man sits there and does, headstands and sit-ups in the ring. He doesn't need any of them. So I think that the man has came a long way, and he's what we need to pay attention to in the future. Because Dolph Ziggler, it's only really the sky's the limit for this man. I want to thank y'all for watching, And remember, we all have a video camera, we all have internet, and we all have an opinion.